We've all been there, right? You make a huge decision, maybe one of the biggest of your life. But then comes the hard part, explaining it to your family, your friends, maybe even just to yourself. Well, being able to make a clear, compelling comparison, that's a genuine superpower. And today, we're going to learn exactly how to master it.
So, let's dive into a classic dilemma, one a lot of us think about. Where should I live? Are you someone who's drawn to the bright lights and the non-stop energy of the city? Or do you dream of the peace and quiet of the countryside? It really is a choice between the hustle and the hush. I mean, you could choose the city. It's vibrant. It's buzzing with this incredible energy. You've got opportunities, entertainment, friends. Literally everything is just around the corner. Or you could go for the total opposite. The tranquility of the country, all that open space, that quiet, relaxing vibe. But here's the thing. The real challenge isn't just making the choice. It's explaining why you made it in a way that people really get.
You know, you could just say something simple like, the city has more to do, it is also more expensive. And you're not wrong. But does that sound convincing? It feels kind of flat, a little disconnected, right? The facts are there, but there's no power, no flow. We can definitely do better.
So it is time for a language power-up. We're going to look at two simple, but honestly, incredibly powerful tools that are going to completely change the way you compare and contrast ideas. Seriously. Okay, first up, not only, but also. You should think of this phrase as your rhetorical 1-2 punch. You use it to connect two related ideas, but it gives that second idea an extra little kick of emphasis. It's so persuasive because it builds this forward momentum. It's like saying, hey, this first point is really good, but wait, there's even more.
Just look at this transformation here. The before is two separate sentences. Rural homes are more relaxing. They're also less expensive. It's fine, I guess, but listen to the after. Not only are rural homes more relaxing, but they're also less expensive. Can you hear that? It connects the two ideas into one single, powerful, super confident statement. It just sounds way more convincing.
All right, our second tool is on the one hand, on the other hand. Now this one is your go-to for showing that you've really thought about both sides of an issue. It makes you sound so much more credible because you're signaling to your listener, hey, I've considered the alternatives. It gives your whole argument this fair and balanced feeling.
And let's see how this one works in practice. The before says, urban areas have more entertainment. However, they're more expensive. That works, but the word however can sometimes feel a little abrupt. Now listen to the balanced version. On the one hand, urban areas have more entertainment options. On the other hand, they're more expensive. This structure shows you've carefully weighed both the good and the bad, making your point sound much more thoughtful.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get our hands dirty and put these tools to work in our urban versus rural showdown. Let's see how they really help us talk through this big decision.
So here's a quick look at the major trade-offs. As you can see, urban life is expensive and noisy, but it wins big on things like entertainment and short commutes. Rural life is basically the exact opposite. You get more space for your money and a lot more peace and quiet, but you're probably going to sacrifice some convenience. Now let's use our new tools to talk about this.
Okay, here's not only, but also in a real conversation. Someone asks why you chose your neighborhood. You say, not only is it close to my office, but it's also near my children's school. Hear how powerful that is? You're stacking the good reasons. It's not just one benefit, it's two, and that second one just seals the deal. That is a truly persuasive answer.
And here's our balancing act in action. You can almost hear the person thinking out loud, can't you? On the one hand, I would love a big yard. That's a huge pro. On the other hand, there just aren't as many things to do, and that's a serious con. This structure just perfectly captures that internal debate that we all have.
So, powerful grammar is a fantastic start, but to really truly elevate your argument, you need the right words to go with it. So let's level up and add a few key terms to our vocabulary.
Think of these words as like precision instruments for talking about where people live. Words like gentrification and prime area help you discuss cost and change. Sprawl perfectly describes how suburbs grow, and words like vibrant or up and coming let you capture the unique personality of a neighborhood.
And here's how you can weave them all together to tell a really compelling story. This one sentence tells the entire life cycle of a neighborhood, from an up-and-coming spot through the process of gentrification until it becomes a prime area. Now that is the language of a sophisticated, intelligent conversation about housing.
So let's zoom out. Why does any of this really matter? I mean, we've just spent all this time on grammar and vocab. It's because the art of comparison is a skill that goes way, way beyond just choosing where to live.
At its heart, what we're talking about is clear communication. It's about taking a whole mess of complex ideas, carefully weighing all the different sides, and then presenting your thoughts in a way that's clear, that's logical, and ultimately, that's persuasive.
And just think about it. You will use this skill absolutely everywhere. In your next job interview, comparing your skills to what they need. In a work meeting, debating a new strategy. Even just explaining a tough choice to a friend. Every single one of these moments depends on your ability to structure your thoughts and communicate them well.
So, now you have the tools, you know how to stack your points to build a strong case, and you know how to balance opposing views to show you've thought everything through. The only question left is, what big decision will you explain next? What complex choice are you now ready to tackle with total confidence?